All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 8. That is right, week number 8. Week number 8 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin, and what we are going to do this week is a quick state of the course update. And when we finish that state of the course update, I will be showing you two databases that you can use for the argumentative paper, which is a tool set that you will need for your, especially for first and second year college students, your freshmen and sophomores in undergraduate school, as well as high school and even middle school students who have to write persuasive essays and that sort of thing. We're going to look at two databases, Opposing Viewpoints in Context and the CQ Researcher, and those two databases are the two databases that you would use in those situations where you're trying to help somebody who's looking for sources for an argumentative or persuasive essay. And I'm going to tell you why in just a few minutes. But first, let's get into that state of the course update. Pause. All right, the first thing to know, and this is actually also the most important thing to know this week, is that you do have an assignment that is going to be due this coming weekend. That is your Wikipedia edit assignment. It is due on March the 16th at 11:59 p.m. So Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Now, if you are a few hours late or so, I am not going to count off for that, so don't worry. But just know that this assignment is due this coming weekend. If you have not started, that is okay, because the Wikipedia edit assignment really doesn't take my students that long. And I had a whole video, a whole long, almost hour-long video talking about the Wikipedia edit assignment last week. So we are not going to do a whole bunch of talking about that this week, but I did want to remind you again that that is due. And aside from that, you really don't even have much going on for the rest of March in this class, at least when it comes to assignments to turn in. You don't have a lot to do for the rest of March. You do, of course, have readings that you need to do. You should be working on that semester-long project, and you will start on you're probably going to want to start on your LibGuide assignment come next week, come March the 17th. And yeah, that will, if you start on your LibGuide, the LibGuide is not due until April the 20th. So you've got a whole month between the Wikipedia edit assignment and the LibGuide assignment. However, the LibGuide does take some students a long time. Some students, they get their LibGuide done in a day or two. Some students, it actually does take them quite a while to get their first LibGuide up. It just depends on the experience that you've had with this sort of thing, the type of experience you've had with creating LibGuides and Pathfinders, and then also if you have resources such as coworkers who can kind of give you some materials or some insights to kind of help you with that assignment, okay? But yes, you don't have any deliverables after the Wikipedia edit assignment. You don't have any deliverables to turn in to me in March, and you will have your next discussion board prompt due on April the 6th, and then we will have our final sync session on April the 9th, and that will be when we talk to Jamie Livingston from the Wolfner Library, and she's going to talk about services to the disabled or differently abled. Okay, so that really is it for the state of the course update, and I am going to try to keep this video a bit shorter because last week's was so long. We're going to try to aim for 25 minutes, which sped up will be less than 20 minutes. So let's pause here and show you those two databases. Okay, so again, your two databases that we're going to talk about for persuasive essays / argumentative essays and argumentative and persuasive speeches are going to be Opposing Viewpoints in Context, and then also the CQ Researcher. Now, we do not have, I actually don't know if we've got the CQ Researcher at Mizzou. I'm pretty sure we don't. But I am going to access both of these resources actually through my public library as opposed to the academic library. We're going to start with Opposing Viewpoints first, and then we're going to go into the CQ Researcher. And I am also going to let you all know ahead of time that the CQ Researcher was actually updated actually about 2 years ago, and I have not had the opportunity to actually remaster that database after it went through the significant changes that it has gone through. So I apologize. I'm going to be kind of superficial in my showing off of the CQ Researcher, but that's going to keep the video shorter anyway. With Opposing Viewpoints in Context, I am going to go a little bit deeper into that one because that one is the same way it has been throughout my entire career. All right. But, and I do think that Opposing Viewpoints is also just, quite frankly, a little bit easier to use. So we've got Opposing Viewpoints right here. and I am going to go in. I may pause if it's taking a long time. Yeah, let me pause. All right, so this is Opposing Viewpoints in Context from Gale. It's another one of our Gale databases. Again, Gale is, along with ProQuest and EBSCO, one of the three major database vendors, but there are other vendors and that sort of thing. But you will see Gale along with EBSCO and ProQuest a lot throughout your librarian careers, unless things just kind of change on us in the near future. So when you come to Opposing Viewpoints in Context, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to save the search feature for last as far as me showing you the things in this database. And we are actually going to go into browse issues first. By the way, I do want to remind you all, I am not giving you a tutorial on how to use the database in depth. This is basically this is an introduction to the database, but if you want to learn how to really use the database and get in depth and really, really good with it, you're actually going to have to watch some full tutorials on it and then also practice on it. But I assure you, your public library probably has Opposing Viewpoints and also probably has CQ Researcher, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I am actually going to go into Browse Issues first, and then again, we'll come back to the search feature. But there is Browse Issues. And when you go to Browse Issues, what I want you all to see is that a lot of your major hot button issues that people are talking about these days, they are all right here, okay? The various things, of course, you've got your heavy hitters that never go away, such as abortion and the death penalty. Those are, of course, the two things that you can never really get rid of. They're always just kind of ongoing. Capital punishment is where the death penalty is listed here. But yeah, capital punishment and abortion, those are, of course, your two hot button issues that will always be hot button issues, and you'll never get people to kind of get past those, to be honest with you. But we've got a lot of other issues here as well. And so I want you all to see that there is, I mean, you've got a wide variety of things. You've got the opioid crisis. You've got online retail. You've got oceans even. You've got obesity, nutrition. You'll see little updated signs for whenever a topic is updated, has like recent updates. And then also there are topics that get added. I don't see any new as of right now. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see, oh yeah, there is a new. All right. New 2025-26 national debate topic, Arctic. That's new. Okay. So that's cool. But yeah, a lot of these things are updated. So, but you've got your hot button things here. You've got marijuana somewhere down there. You've got feminism, you've got food security, you've got food safety, recycling, renewable energy, the right to bear arms, riots in the United States, road rage, a bunch of things related to schools, self-defense laws, all of your hot button stuff, folks. It's pretty much here, okay? Especially when you're dealing with, again, you'll be using this mostly for people who are in their first 2 years of undergrad or people who are in middle school or high school. That tends to be who uses this database the most, because that's who a lot of times are the people who are charged with doing persuasive speeches or persuasive essays, okay? And what we can do, I'm going to try to find one of these that's going to be not too heavy, but also not too light, and go in there and then just kind of show you all what features are there once you go in. Give me one moment. Okay, so I think a safe one to do here would be fast food. Let's go ahead and do fast food, right? I'm going to pause because it's taking a while to load. All right, so once you've actually selected your topic and you are, you click the topic that you want, you're going to get into a landing page, and the landing page is first going to have a overview, basically an overview essay. So this is what you'll see. I'm in the fast food landing page right now, and I pushed, man, my computer's slow tonight. Okay, I'm going to pause again. Okay, so what you didn't see there, I did click the read more for the fast food essay on the landing page, the fast food essay on the landing page, and I got here. And so here you just get basically again, overview page. And the overview page is usually kind of neutral, okay? And you'll get, you know, citation information and things like that. But you get this type of information right here that kind of gives you neutrals, pros and cons to whatever you're talking about. And then you also, or whatever you're researching. And then you also get these little sidebar pieces here, like critical thinking questions. Why do you think fast food is so popular among U.S. consumers? You scroll up, you can get another sidebar over here, main ideas. And then over here, you'll have some useful information. First of all, it is useful to know, this is a topic overview essay. It's useful to know how many words. What you're looking at is, and in this case, we're looking at about 1,700 words. Content level and Lexile measure, these are things that are related to how difficult the piece is to read. Now, to be honest with you, I can't remember exactly how these things work, these Lexiles and content levels, because I tend to, I've been an academic librarian most of my life, so I don't really worry about Lexile numbers, because Lexile numbers usually are dealing with, your K-8 even. I wouldn't even say K-12. Lexile numbers a lot of times are measuring the appropriateness of an essay or a piece to be read by people in grades kindergarten through 8th grade, okay? But I do think that this is a higher Lexile measure, which would place this as more of a high school level type of essay, okay? But this is what you've got. You got your overview essays, and then more like this if you want to dive into some other things. But I'm gonna show you another way to dive into more stuff here. But you've got article contents and then related subjects. So you do have child nutrition and public health and those sorts of things that tie very closely into fast food. Okay, let's see if we can go back. All right, so again, on this landing page, the other thing that I want you all to just be aware of is that when you scroll down, the other thing you will get is you will get these breakdowns by source type. So on this page, what I love about opposing viewpoints is that it's basically going to link you to a lot of the source information that you're going to need. And it's going to be all in one place. It's going to be all linked from this overview page, so you're not going to have to go fishing around in a bunch of different databases to find stuff. Typically, you can just get your kids on on this database and one of these browse issue subjects, and they're going to find everything they need right here if they're in middle or high school, or if they are a freshman or sophomore in undergrad. So when you look at this, you'll see featured viewpoints. You've got 14 other viewpoint essays that are usually, whereas the overview page is typically going to be not necessarily neutral, but still more neutral than what you're going to have in the featured viewpoints. The featured viewpoint essays are actually going to kind of lead you a certain way. They are going to, the featured viewpoints are usually pro or con, or else they are trying to make a definitive argument somewhere else. You've got viewpoint essays that are outside the featured viewpoint essays, but these are pretty much the same thing. They go kind of hand in hand. 63 images. We have almost 4,000 things that are listed as news articles. We have 13 things coming out of reference sources. A lot of times those will be things like encyclopedias or dictionaries or things like that, but reference sources that are covering this type of material. 71, or this subject matter, I should say. 71 videos, 55 academic journals, and those are probably going to be peer-reviewed academic journals. Got 3 infographics, you got websites and stats that are being linked to, and then you have about 250 magazine sources, okay? So you get those breakdowns, and then once you scroll down further, you will see that they are linked right there. So let's say that you have a kid that comes in and he's saying, well, I'm going to need magazine articles in order to really complete this. You can scroll down to the magazines and you can actually just click here. Or you could have clicked that all 246 magazines thing. And you click that and then you will be brought down to this listing here. You do have options to filter, just like where I showed you that you could filter with Academic Search Complete and JSTOR. You have filtering options over here too, but I'm not going to get into those right now for the sake of keeping this video a little briefer than last week's video. But again, what you can do, you can scroll down here. You'll see all these various things, including you will see word counts, articles, brief article. You'll see a date of publication. You'll see a Lexile number, and you'll see the source, which is the name of the magazine. This came from Money Magazine. This came from the Week magazine. This came from the Week. Looks like several things came from the Week, but this came from the Economist. And the great thing about this database is, for the most part, with only a few exceptions, your full text is going to be right there. So once I click one of these, I don't have to go into a different database for full text. It is right there, and I can go ahead, read it, save it if I need to. We've got download, we got email, we've got save it in the cloud, save it in Microsoft, we've got printed out. We've got all the great things that we need right here, okay? And so this is pretty much how this database works. And then, yeah, if I go back one, you will see over here, boom, 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 you will see over here, right here, academic journals and viewpoints and that sort of thing. So if you decide, if your student says, oh, well, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't mean magazines, I needed academic journals. You can click over here to academic journals, 55 things will pop up. Most of them, again, are going to be peer reviewed. You'll get the journal title here. And if you want the full text, if you decide it's something you want, you can scroll down and get your full text right there, okay? So that's pretty much how this database works. And again, now you can also click this if you want to limit by source type, but I'm not going to go through all that right now. And then just to show you, again, the video feature, you can get little short videos. In fact, these are really short videos over here, 2 seconds even. So I don't know how useful that is, but statistics, sometimes they can be a mixed bag. But I've had students who really were able to incorporate the statistical data into whatever they were doing as well. So the last thing that I'm going to show you within opposing viewpoints is just the search feature here. So I don't think there is I know there's a marijuana and like I think there's like a fentanyl sort of thing, but cocaine I don't think is one. So let's say you wanted to deal specifically with cocaine. I would really just leave it as a keyword and maybe legality. So let's say you wanted to do an essay about legalizing cocaine. You're not going to have too much here, but this is how you use that search feature. You may end up, so if this database fails you, if the database, if the opposing viewpoints database fails you, then that's when you're probably going to go and want to take it back to Academic Search Complete or to JSTOR or one of those things, okay? All right, that's enough for this database. Again, we're going to try to keep this under 25 minutes, so let's get into CQ Researcher, and hopefully I can do that one very quick. Okay, so again, the second one that I'm going to tell you about tonight is going to be the CQ Researcher, which will be right here, and I may end up pausing this again if it starts loading slow. Okay, yep. Okay, so again, CQ Researcher, again, unfortunately, I haven't had the time to really train myself on this database since it got its major update about 2 years ago, but I am going to give you still a brief introduction to it. And yes, we will definitely be done by the 25-minute mark, okay? So the thing with CQ Researcher, the thing that I really like about this database is, again, you can kind of scroll down and you've got topics, but you can go to, I like to go to hot topics. And they're way more than this. You can browse all of CQ Researcher too. Let's actually see what happens when we do that. Again, no, this is one of those things that really wasn't a feature 2 years ago the way that it is now. And so it kind of trips Dr. Jace up. So I apologize for that. Okay. So you got that. I'm actually going to go back here for now. Okay, so, and what actually, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to, no, we do have, you got topics tab, you've got hot topics, you got pros and cons. So different entryways there, and then upcoming, these things aren't here yet, but they'll be upcoming. Actually, this one is coming this week, U.S. Maritime Shipping. All right, but let's go to pros and cons here, and then let's go again. I like marijuana, so let's do the marijuana legalization, okay? So you can go into this. And what you'll see is basically a listing right here, a bunch of, you've got pro-con, all right, so a pro-con question. Should Congress repeal the federal ban on marijuana possession? And as you can see, this one is fairly recent, July 2023, so not that long ago. It's a pro-con question. You can get into there. And when you click that, that's going to take you to the legal marijuana report, which will also be, if you scroll back, if we go back here, you'll see that here as well. So this takes us to the legal marijuana report. And a report is going to have a lot of information in it. That's what's so great about this. You've got a report and it's going to have a lot of information. You've got a table of contents right here. So you start with the introduction, you can go down to your overview. Then you can get into the overview, by the way, was pretty long. So you've got a long overview up there, and then keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. And you end up with background information from here. Scroll, scroll. So then you got background information, and you can keep scrolling. As you can see, as you scroll down, this is going to auto update here. So now I'm in the current situation right there. And then as I keep scrolling down, short features, pros and cons, etc., etc. You get chronology, all the good stuff here. So you got a little timeline. A lot of good information comes directly from the report, but here is the moneymaker for CQ Researcher. Here's why you want to have CQ Researcher in your toolbox. As you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, what you are going to see are your footnotes. So if you go back up, you will see that you have all of these little things right here, these little links. These are your little footnotes. And your footnotes will actually get you, so let's say you're reading this essay, but you don't want to necessarily cite from this essay. You want to cite from where this essay is citing the information from. This database does such a great job as far as linking you to the additional information through the footnotes. So let's say I read this, I'm not going to read it for the sake of time, but let's say I read this and I'm like, holy smokes, this is great information. I want more and I want to cite it. What you can do is you can come here, click that, you'll be taken to the footnote, and you'll be able to link, you'll be able to follow a link to that footnote. To the source of that footnote, I should say. Or usually you would be, as you can see, that's not working here. Let's see if this one will work. Okay. Well, some of these do need to be updated. Let's hope this one works so that Dr. Jace doesn't look like a liar. Okay, there we go. All right, so this one's working at least. And so that does redeem me from not looking like a liar. So, but yes, you can fill up a references list or a works cited list very, very quickly using this database simply by looking and reading your essay, looking at your essay, but then also following the footnote links and getting information that way, okay? So, coming back to the home page, you can get a lot of really good stuff here. So you can go to, again, browse by topics, and then you can see, you can click one. I'll do arts just to see what pops up. And you can kind of scroll down, and again, a lot of these things, they're a big deal, and you can even you can create a profile for yourself. I'm not going to do that, but you can create a profile for yourself and then save things in there. So things like transgender rights, those are going to be very, very popular in this day and time. And then even I saw, UFOs. So I think these are sorted by date. So the transgender rights report was updated recently. Oh, they're not organized by date. Okay, so they are organized by most relevant. But still, the transgender report was, it was updated less than a year ago. But one thing you may see as you scroll down is you may end up seeing things that were very, very recently, as in done in 2025. But I'm not seeing that right now. But yes, you can go into this. And again, UFOs is another... That's another big one, and you can go in, I don't know what pro-con on UFOs is going to be, but it's there. So you've got a pro essay, you can click that and get into a pro essay, and you can find more pro essays if you're, I guess, pro UFO. Again, I don't know exactly how that works, and I'm not going to spend my time looking right now because we got to make this video kind of short. In fact, we are almost at 25 minutes, so let me go ahead and end the video now. I was going to show the search feature, but the search feature is actually similar to the search features that you'll see in a lot of the databases anyway. So my recommendation in this case is to just go ahead, if you want to see the search feature, find this database from your local public library, use it, find the search feature, search, and get some practice yourself. Practice all the databases that I show you. Practice databases that I don't show you, because practice is what makes perfect, and practice is how you build your awareness to these resources. That is it for me for tonight. I am Dr. Jace, and you should use CQ Researcher and opposing viewpoints in case, Jace case, in case somebody is trying to make a persuasive or argumentative essay or speech. All right, I am out of here, and I will see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.